they're gonna know what we want them to know.
And they will know what you want to know, and what you tell them.
And we're gonna rob this place, and we're gonna make a lot of money.
You're gonna make them. You're like a dark-skinned Mr. Elliot, Sam Elliott.
I'm sorry, guys. Welcome to another movie review where we talk about.
We lose our mind.
Yes, where we talk about Logan Lucky. And before we get into it, I have a question for you. Let me take this ridiculous thing off.
Oh, please, that didn't hurt that much.
Oh, my sensitive.
I apologize to Sam Elliott. He looks like you. He looks a lot better than you.
I know.
You should have trimmed that down.
I should have trimmed it down. What am I saying? The question I have for you is, what is your opinions on? Well, this movie is directed by Steven Soderbergh.
Yes.
What are sort of your favorite films of Steven Soderbergh, or what's your opinion of him? I guess
I've probably seen some of his films, and I don't even know it was his. But the only ones I know famously would be the Ocean's 11 series, 11, 12, and 13s.
Yes, 11, 12, and 13. Yeah.
I've heard of the girlfriend experience, but I've never got a chance to see that.
I haven't gotten to see that either.
The one, not the one with the drug.
Side Effects?
No, not that. It's the cartel.
Traffic.
Traffic.
Yeah, Traffic.
Yes, Traffic. And that's all in my mind I can think of, although I've probably seen a few of his films and not know it, because I'm not really...
I mean, he's a great director. The Ocean's trilogy I love. Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
I've never seen that.
I think he was great. I think, again, Side Effects that he recently did was awesome a few years ago. Traffic. He's really a director that is kind of a bold director. He doesn't mind playing in any type of sandbox, and he doesn't mind experimenting. And what's great about this movie is that it's like, okay, you take the idea of an Ocean's 11 style movie, but you end up making this almost type of maybe like, I don't want to say a redneck comedy, almost
more of a down home, blue collar, salt of the earth type surroundings.
Absolutely, something like that, which I think is interesting. I think it is. I don't know. I mean, but where do you want to start with Logan Lucky?
Well, how many actors and actresses were in this film?
Wow.
I mean,
man,
small parts, but man, they really. I can't think of an actor, an actress in this movie that did not shine.
Well, I mean, you first off had Channing Tatum.
Yes.
And Channing Tatum, I think, I don't always like him in every role he's done, but he also worked with Steven Soderbergh in Magic Mike.
Another film I did.
Another film that I think is really good, actually. And he does a great job in this. Adam Driver as well.
Does a great job.
Does a great job as brothers. Really great. I forget the lady who plays their sister. I forget the name of her as an actress, and I wish I would remember her name, but she almost looks like a young Drew Barrymore. Like, she really does to me. I was looking at her.
Yeah. Okay. I could almost.
I was looking at her on the screen, and I'm like thinking, man, she really reminds me of Drew Barrymore when she was younger. She just really does. And I just was like, wow. I mean, she could almost pull off her doing a straight-up adaptation of a Drew Barrymore movie of just her life, because it looks exactly like her. I mean, she does a great job in it. Katie Holmes, who has a small role but does a really good job as well. You also have Catherine Waterston, who does a very tiny role. She was last seen in Alien Covenant.
Another film I did.
You didn't see that. She was good in the movie, otherwise not a great movie, Alien Covenant, but she was good in this role. You also have Daniel Craig, who plays a very eccentric character who is in prison that they end up having to break out for them to help him, for him to help them, and he's awesome in it. He's awesome in it as well. You have so many really great.
Seth MacFarlane as...
Oh, and Seth MacFarlane as
a
you
very
know,
asshole, like a complete... Here we go. That comes close to slightly what he looks like.
Yes, it does. That's
As
why I wore
a
it.
YouTube, it seems like a YouTube sensation slash
sort of, he has like this
his own show host
and an energy drink.
Well, it's an alcohol.
Alcohol or
it's
something.
Special
yes.
alcohol, and
you also have Sebastian Stan in it, who plays the NASCAR driver. He's been in a lot of the Marvel films, playing Bucky.
Yep.
He's been doing that. The Winter Soldier. He's in that. I mean, Hilary Swank in this as well, plays a very small role. I mean, what I usually think is, the thing about it is a lot of these actors, they see, okay, Steven Soderbergh, I'm going to work with Steven Soderbergh, because working with him sort of is like, when you work with him, you know that you're going to get the best out of yourself as an actor. And you know that whatever he does is going to be interesting to watch. And so everyone kind of climbs on board, because they're like, I don't know if this is the last film he's going to do, because he tried to retire a few years ago, and he came back maybe out of retirement because he was tired of retirement, or who knows. But these actors probably think, wow, might as well work with him, because, I know that it's going to be kind of cool whatever I do in this role. Be it big or small, it's going to be worth it. And so that's why they all come on board. And there's a huge amount of stars in this. And so, I mean, they all do a fantastic job. You said it yourself. I mean, as far as the plot itself and the story,
it's just like, in many ways, it's, hate to say, it's slightly copying Ocean's 11 a little bit. It's it's very similar. Now, how they get to point A to point B, it doesn't really A to B, it's A to G, because there's all these little parts and moving parts that get to point the main thing.
There is. I mean, you also have to remember something really interesting as well, which is that, again, a lot like Ocean's 11 or 12 or 13, is that you will be in a scene and they will show you something in the background. Very small, minute thing that will come back around later
you go,
on.
That's why they moved that there, or why that person was there. Yes,
exactly. It doesn't make sense at first, but they sort of go back around to it, and you end up actually understanding what's going on. So, I mean, just like those movies, you have to definitely pay attention to it. But I also think this is not as complicated as what an Ocean's 11 film would be either.
I'd say not at first, but when you realize all the moving parts, like I said, like, what's with the roaches? Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. We are going to spoil some stuff, yeah.
What's with the roaches? Okay, messing with this person? Messing with that person? Okay, and it all rolls with the plot, and it matches what it's at the end. The payoff at the end.
Well, yes, absolutely. There's that payoff, and the payoff, I think, works incredibly well. I mean, again, I think the movie is a little slow going at first.
Well,
I do think that.
Well, and also, in all fairness, with that, I don't find it slow. I find it you're getting introduced to all the main. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, about 4 or so characters, main characters. You're seeing how their lives are.
Yeah.
You're seeing that some are down and out.
Sure.
Some are just in some very bland job, and you're seeing their lives and why they choose to do the bank job.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And there's got to be a reason. It can't be just like, hey, we're going to rob something because I need money.
Well, yeah, there's got to be a reason to it. And the idea is basically that they're just, I mean, they're poor.
They're not poor, but they're more like more working class people with at least those values. At least the two brothers or the cousins from Daniel Craig's character. They won't do anything unless it has a high moral. We'll commit crime, but it has to have a good moral reason for it.
I mean, yeah, they're good people. I mean, they know all the Twitters.
They know all. I know all my Twitters.
I know all my Twitters.
It has that down home charm, which makes I loved it. It was a very fun film.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is that, I mean, it's a film I think people are going to be a little bit confused by at first. They're going to be like, what? Because sometimes people need, okay, this is an action movie. This is a comedy. This is a thriller. They need to have that specific...
I'll say more of a drama of a thriller.
Well, no, but I mean, people need a specific category for a movie.
Well, maybe it doesn't have to be. Maybe it can be a hybrid.
Exactly.
And I tell you, just like the Ocean's 11, and there's other films I'm trying to think of, but who are hybrids of other, like one genre to the next, that make this beautiful, or either a beautiful film or a fun film to watch.
Sure, absolutely. I think that you don't need to be stuck in one genre. And I think that nowadays there's mashups of different genres all over the place. This is no different. I mean, you have this being a slightly bit of an action-adventure movie. Slightly. You have it being a heist movie. You have it being a comedy. There's a lot of different interconnected genres here. That doesn't mean the movie's a mess.
No, and this, I tell you, if Warner Brothers would see this other than Suicide Squad...
Oh, yeah.
This is how a film... Maybe hire Steven to do a suicide... At least he would... Boom!
It would be interesting, at least.
At least it would have a... They wouldn't keep on going back and keep on introducing the person over and over again.
Yeah.
And then 45 minutes later, we're still being introduced by the main characters. Like, do we really need this?
Yeah, I know. It's that kind of is the tough thing about that. I mean, like I said, I think with this movie, I think the editing, is also well done. Again, it reminds me of an Ocean's 11 style of editing, where again, things are in the background, you're switching between scenes, but you go back later on for things to be explained.
Right.
That type of stuff. I think the music was well done as well. I think the setting, everything from the bank vault to the race itself to the bar, everything, it has a certain type of color to it. It has a certain type of palette.
Not dreary either.
No, it's not dreary at all. And I kind of felt like maybe it might be because they want that sort of...
Oh, we're working class, oh, boo, hoo, hoo. But not... It's shot where it's shot fairly beautifully.
Yeah, I thought it was very well done, actually. I did, too. I think it was really, really well done. I mean, for this type of movie, you're not gonna get, like, crazy, all over the place, like, like colors or something like that. But I think what you get is good enough. I think the stuff pops.
The lighting and the sound was very well done.
Yeah, I think so.
Like in the editing was like
I thought everything was really well done. I thought that for me, if you're gonna have Steven Soderbergh come back, a lot of people kind of felt like if he's gonna come back again, Side Effects was really good. Talk about another drama, twisty kind of movie. Really well done. A lot of people felt like, wow, if he's going to come out of retirement, he's going to do this, like, hard-hitting drama, thriller. Sometimes the director just wants to have fun. Wants to come back and have fun. Just like everybody else. Wants to come back and have fun. And this is one of those movies where it's easily a fun time. I don't know if this movie is going to make a lot of money. I don't know if it's going to. I don't know if people are really going to be willing to check this type of a movie out.
Honestly, I think you should.
Absolutely. I absolutely think you should.
This is a fun, slightly dramatic, some action here and there, comedy / heist movie.
Yeah.
Just like Ocean's 11, just the drop back is instead of Vegas, you're in West Virginia or
Yes,
Georgia. Where they really filmed
Well,
it.
the film in Georgia, but yeah, it takes place in West Virginia.
And yeah, it's a
well,
lot of very good.
I mean, I will say this much: there is no like main bad guy in this movie. There really isn't.
Well, no,
mean, generally
okay,
there
okay.
isn't.
No, there's no like twirling mustache.
No.
I'm going to destroy people. It's just people doing slightly bad things / going with the bad decisions at times.
Yes, and do you think that? I mean, maybe it was just me overthinking, but that the ending could have been taken as
A sequel coming?
yes.
Well, when Hillary Swank's at the bar, I was like, oh, because I knew two things. I knew when Adam Driver opens the suitcase,
Yeah.
I automatically knew that was his, not his new arm, but that was his old arm that was lost. Second, when he was pouring the drink to her, saying like, it's bad luck to toast with an empty glass.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's her. I know it, that's her, and she's like, she's destined to find who did this crime,
Sure.
and she's gonna, boom, she's gonna look for clues and bring him to justice.
Maybe, and maybe it doesn't even have to be a sequel. Maybe it just has
Ends it right there,
and which is kind of really cool. Of like, you know what, make up your own story in
your head.
in your head, which sometimes I'm fine with. I'm absolutely fine with. I don't mind it one
Everyone
bit.
can do their fan fiction writing on that one.
Absolutely, everybody. People do enough fan fiction for 50 Shades of Grey. Why not start doing it for Logan Lucky, right?
Don't bring that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I have nightmares just by looking at the previews.
I've
never seen the film, but
I've seen it. I've seen the horrors. So, what is your final thoughts and grade rating on Logan Lucky?
My final thoughts, I'll tell you, I found this film to be more charming than Ocean's 11. Actually, more charming than Ocean's 12 and 13. Ocean's 11 was not an original film, but actually, you know what? It's almost on par with Ocean's 11, but I find it slightly more charming than Ocean's 11. My grade rating on this, I'm giving it an A.
Wow, really? You're giving it an A. Whew.
I enjoyed this film, and even looking at the trailer, I was like, okay. Let's see. Wow, I really enjoyed this film. I can't think of a bad time. I was like, oh, this is so boring. Get to it already. I didn't feel that way at all.
You know what? Honestly, I knew this film, when I saw the trailer, I knew this film was right up your alley, and that's why I wanted to do this review with you, because I was like, okay, this is a Ron film. This is a Ron film. I knew it. I knew it from the moment I saw the trailer. I'm like, this is the film he's going to get into. And you kind of have to see, okay, certain movies are going to be for certain people. I knew this was for you and so I'm really glad you enjoyed it. For me, I still love the Ocean's trilogy. For me, that's still, I don't think this is up there, but I think as far as cool little heist movies that you can kind of like recommend outside of the Ocean's movies, this is absolutely high up there. I don't think there's many others that can even reach this type of level. I don't think many other directors that can do it quite as well as Steven Soderbergh does it. That's why he attempted to go back again, I think, just to see like, can I really do this again with a completely different idea behind it?
Location and people.
Yes, and I think he succeeded in spades. So for me, it's definitely going to be an extremely high B+, almost even an A-. I mean, it's really right there, riding the line. Like I said, I think it's a little slow in the beginning. I think you're kind of waiting for it to get going just a tiny bit, but that's a minor complaint at best. And so, yeah, it's absolutely enjoyable for me. And so, so let me just get the stash going here.
It almost works with it.
It almost works.
Almost works. You gotta trim this part over the lip.
Really?
Yeah, trim that part, and maybe give it a little like a distinguished look. So you gotta gray it up a little bit. It would
this nice porn star stash that I
It's
got
more
here.
of a. You should have a guitar, mariachi band. Just you look.
I'm as simple-minded as people say I am.
Send money to him. His therapy bills are piling up.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and we will be back next time. Oh, I gotta be back next time for another movie review. See you later, guys.
Till next time.
Bye.